Hey everyone, welcome back to Onyx Pages. I have to say, the longer I'm on this platform, the more ingenious I become with random tripods and such. Okay, so I thought that I would use the time that I have at this train station to film the mid-year freakout tag. I am doing this without any preparation. And so we'll see how it goes. I hope that you're doing well. It is an interesting time right now. It is, among other things, Pride Month, and the Pride celebrations are taking place right now in Toronto. So that's a really cool thing. So yeah. Okay, let me see if I can get a video with the questions. In the description below, just let me know like what you're up to this summer, how your summer is going, what you're reading, all of that. Okay, I think I have the questions. So the first question is, what's the best book that you've read this year? I have had some really good reads this year, and I will say it's right now a tie between Mage of Fools by Eugene Bacon and A Spectral Hue, and I'll get the author's name for A Spectral Hue in 1 second. But I've read some really, really good books. So A Spectral Hue was it's a novella written by Craig Lawrence Gidney. So A Spectral Hue tells a story of a number of different characters, but I would say that the main character is actually not human. It's this spirit that lives in this predominantly black town that's inhabited this marshland area, and this spirit has a relationship with all of these different people and causes them to create interesting art. And so it's just the story of this beautiful, artistic, colorful haunting. And it's written so beautifully. It's written really efficiently. It's got so much density to it, but it also has a light touch. And I like books that get into really difficult territory, but also feel very pleasurable. I have to credit Chloe for finding this book and recommending it as one of our reads for the Solar Powered Afrofuturism Slow Reading Group, because had she not done that, I would not have known about the story, and it was wonderful. She's got an interview with the author on her channel, and at some point I will do a review, but it was a very, very wonderful read. And very, like, if I were to do like a very quick cowrie shell review, the most vulnerable entity, the most vulnerable person in the story was the main character. It dealt with some really important themes, things like gentrification, things like possession, like finding ways to overcome oppression, or the impact of oppression, art, community relationships, queerness, death and passing, like some really, really great themes. The characters were believable and interesting and complicated. There are a number of characters I didn't like, which was really cool. And yeah, it was just a really, really good read. So I gave it 7 calories. Was Mage of Fools by Eugene Bacon, which is an African futurist story that follows a woman with children who lives in this like city. I think it's only impacted this city, but maybe the country, but an African city that is trying to sort of survive after the arrival of an alien being who has somehow found a way to control the king. And because the alien being controls the decisions of the king, the entire society has been changed because of this alien's manipulation. And so all the men have or most of the men have been killed, and women are enslaved in these work camps with their children. And there's this strange like skeletal monarchy that still exists, but really it's the alien that's running things. And it, you know, it answers the questions. Well, why did this all happen? What does it all mean? How does heartbreak change the decisions of people, right? The main character is bisexual, polyamorous, and it's just written, if you read anything by Eugene Bacon, it's written so beautifully. It's also fun. It's gruesome and violent and heartwarming all at the same time. Like, it was a really wonderful story, and I didn't know what to expect from this novel, and I thought it was incredible. The other book that I'll talk about is Metatrons Children by Chai Ryan Spain, and this is a middle grade post-apocalyptic story that follows two trans non-binary children who live in this society where they believe that they're the only ones in this like society that has reclaimed a part of Canada and has kind of recreated a more comfortable, egalitarian and interdependent, queer positive, eco-friendly community, and they're just kind of trying to survive. But there's a bit of a mystery in this story, like what happened to the parents of these two children. And yeah, there's chosen family, there's some magic, because the main character, one of the siblings has a gift, and it's just really cool. It's the beginning of a series. It is a novella, and it was really good. So I think like those are the most memorable stories that I've read this year. I would say of the three of them, probably my favorite would be A Spectral Hue because of like the art, but all three of them were amazing. So those would be the best reads of the year so far. I think that very soon I'm gonna be adding, well, let me see what the rest of the questions are because I might be getting there. Okay, best sequel you've read this year? I haven't read any sequels. New releases I haven't read yet, there we go, but want to. So, does it have a, okay. I'm currently reading Bacchanal by Veronica G. Henry, and I'm very much enjoying it. I had to put it down a couple of times because there were some other books that I had deadlines for, like A Spectral Hue and some others. I am very much looking forward to reading the Ballad of Perilous Graves, and that came out this past week, written by Alex Jennings. I don't know very much about it because I've tried not to. I want to go into this like just head first. I've started reading it, and I knew that I had to do a little bit of travel, but I think that this is a book that I can't like once I get in it, I'm gonna just have to stay in it. So I'm gonna be starting that this week, and it's a new release. It's June 2022, so I'm super excited about that, and I hope to interview the author and just get all up in it. But it's set in New Orleans. I know it has ghosts and it has music and it has magical children, and that's like mostly all I need, so looking forward to that. The biggest the most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Honestly, I think as a slow reader, I'm not as, I don't know, I guess because I know that I'm not going to read books like as soon as they come out, like I'll eventually read them. It's hard to sort of say what I'm excited for that's going to be released in the second half of the year. I don't have that with me right now. But I will say that something that I am interested in is a textbook that was written by B. Cherise Moore. And this is an Afrofuturism textbook for middle grade and high school students, which I've ordered, and I'm really looking forward to like seeing it, because I think that it's super important to teach children and youth about Afrofuturism, so that's gonna be cool. Third, I don't have a favorite new author at this point. there are a lot of people that I'm watching and whose books I want to read a lot of. But my favorite author remains Nalo Hopkinson. Newest fictional crush. I don't think I have a fictional crush at the moment. A book that made me cry. I don't know. I don't think there was a book that made me cry that this year that I remember off the top of my head. I think Major Fools might have. I think it did. But it was really, yeah, really wonderful. Books that made me happy. Metatrons Children made me happy. What else made me happy? Yeah, Metatrons Children made me happy, and it made me happy because, like, I love books that give us examples of a better world, and it did that, so that made me happy. Most beautiful book that I bought or received this year. One that I think it's called God is a Black Woman. The cover is absolutely stunning. So that is definitely a beautiful book that I received this year. And also the Ballad of Perilous Graves, that's a beautiful cover as well. And if you have the book, it does cool things on your phone if you look at it through your video. What books do I need to read by the end of the year? I don't have like a list right now. And I think that's it. So it's funny because as much as this is called the mid-year freakout tag, I'm not freaking out. I feel very chill about what I'm reading. I'm pretty confident about my reading speed and all of that. I'm definitely looking forward to reading more through Octavia E. Butler's writing. So The Parable of the Talents is going to be the next read in the Octavia E. Butler slow read. And then I'm looking forward to reading Fledgling because I haven't read that in a while and it's pretty intense content. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also looking forward to reading, it is the first book in the trilogy by Tade Thompson. I want to say that it's called Redemption, but it's not. Anyway, so I will be doing a buddy read of that in July, and which is next week, so I should probably get on that one with Jenny. So looking forward to that. And there will be some activity with Evelyn from the internets later in the year. And Solar Powered, the Solar Powered Afrofuturism slow reading group, we're going to be reading A Heaviness of Knowing by Sherilyn G. Brown. And Claire is going to be leading that discussion. So it'll be my second time reading that book, and I'm looking forward to it because it deals with dreams and magic. Yeah, there's a lot coming out, but it's not all up in my head. Anyway, that is my just chatty mid-year freak-out video. I hope that you can hear me and that you have a great Pride if you're celebrating it this month. And that is all. Thanks for watching, and also remember to read with purpose. Talk to you soon. Bye. Let's see if any of that recorded.